Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. But first things first and foremost, I want to wish y'all a happy new year. Hope you guys are doing well, and while 2020 was 2020, here's to a new year full of new opportunities and new great experiences. Let's keep pushing forward to the future to make this year better than the last. But that being said, this year I'm going to step up my content creation game so I can focus on making better content for you guys and make sure it's a great time to be a part of this community. Now then, it's time to get into the first theory of the new year. So, in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind's secret episode, we got introduced to one of the new characters that'll be explored in Phase 2, and that is of course, Yozora. I explained everything we know about this character in an earlier video talking about everything we know about Yozora, so if you want to watch that, I'll put that in the card up top. Now, that video may or may not have been to clear the air about Yozora before I put out this theory, because this one's kind of a doozy. But Yozora right now is one of the more mysterious characters. Not because we want to figure out his grand plan like the Master of Masters, but more because we don't know how or why he's here. After being introduced to him in the Verum Rex trailer, we really just thought it was a meta joke by the Square Enix team, but to the surprise of many of the fans, including myself, Yozora actually ended up having a lot of importance to the story and quickly became the topic of many theories. But when we talked to him in the secret episode, there might have been something that we missed that actually confirmed a completely new character in the Kingdom Hearts series that nobody noticed, and that character's name is Sora. And I know what you're thinking, but there's already another Sora, and Yozora must have been talking about the Nameless Star when he meant Sora. Well, today I have a theory that could prove that's not the case, and could also prove another character was introduced that was completely overlooked. But before we get into that, if you want to see more JRPG content like Kingdom Hearts, Persona, or The Legend of Zelda, make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you never miss another video. And if you like what you see, share the video with a friend. Now, fellow Guardians of Twilight, it is time to explore the universe of Unreality, where we could find another Sora. So as I said earlier, Sora talked to the Nameless Star in Kingdom Hearts 3, and that conversation confirmed two things that I want to talk about for this theory. One, it was confirmed that Yozora's appearance has changed from what it normally is, meaning the Yozora we've seen up until now isn't what he actually looks like physically, and we have no clue what his true form looks like. Second, we know that his heart has been replaced with someone else's. Now, as far as that happened, we have no idea, but at this point we know that that isn't who Yozora truly is. But the Nameless Star gave us another piece of information that's crucial to this theory. The Nameless Star said that should Yozora regain his old self, he would be distressed by her absence. Now keep that in mind because it's gonna come up again later. Now let's fast forward to Yozora. When Sora wakes up in the final world, he meets up with Yozora and has some interesting dialogue. Sora talks about how they can't be in the real world since Yozora is there and keeps thinking out loud trying to figure out exactly what the heck is going on. And the whole time Yozora seems kinda done with it all when he asks Sora, "Are you done going on about nothing?" It's then confirmed that yes, this isn't who he is and this isn't what he really looks like. But when Sora introduces himself and tells Yozora who he really is, Yozora has a very interesting reaction. Yozora seems way more interested in what Sora has to say than he was earlier. He cuts off Sora and asks if he's Sora and why he's using Sora's name. Now it's interesting because he seems pretty surprised and pretty taken aback, even more so than when this stranger came up and asked about how this isn't the real world. The name Sora was enough to get a reaction out of Yozora, so that alone is enough to confirm that Yozora does know somebody named Sora. And then of course later in that same cutscene we learn that Yozora wandered into this world and was told to save Sora. And I've seen everyone talk about how this Sora that Yozora is talking about could be in the Nameless Star, but part of me thinks that isn't the case, and here's why. This is where it starts to get a little complicated, so stay with me. 1. Yozora was told to save Sora. It didn't seem like he was doing it out of his own volition, it seemed like it was a task assigned to him. Now, the fact that Yozora knows that this isn't what he looks like means that Sora came into contact with Yozora's true heart, but not necessarily his true form. It'd be similar to Xion in Days when she took on Sora's appearance but was still Xion underneath. That was Yozora's essentially true heart that held his true intentions and motives, but not his true physical form, because unless that was Yozora's true heart, he wouldn't be aware of what he really looked like. So I think it's safe to say that Sora came into contact with Yozora's true heart, but not his true physical form. But the point remains that he was still told to save Sora. Even if his true heart was looking for the Nameless Star, the fact that he specifically was told to save Sora shows that he isn't necessarily looking for Sora as his own personal mission. If he was looking for Sora on his own, he could have easily said something along the lines of, "I'm looking for Sora," or something like that. But the fact that he specifically said that he was told to save Sora means that this is clearly an assignment or a mission. Saving Sora is something that Yozora was tasked with, which could mean that he isn't necessarily doing it because he wants to, or at least that seems to be the case with the information we have. Now, remember earlier when we were talking about the Nameless Star? She said that should he regain his old self again, he would be distressed by her absence. And that, coupled with the fact that Yozora was told to save Sora and doesn't seem to be doing it for a personal mission or doing it on his own accord, could mean that Yozora isn't actually trying to look for the Nameless Star. And that in turn means the Nameless Star could actually not be named Sora. Because if Yozora was told to save Sora and his heart wasn't placed with someone else's, that means he isn't actually looking for whoever the Nameless Star is. He's focused on the task of saving Sora that was assigned to him. And if he isn't looking for the Nameless Star and is instead looking to save someone named Sora, that means the Nameless Star isn't actually named Sora. But then that leaves a question. Who is Yozora actually looking for? We know that Yozora isn't looking for the Nameless Star, but is still looking for someone, and we know that they're named Sora and that Yozora is supposed to save them, but it clearly isn't the Sora that we know of. That could mean that there's another person named Sora in the universe of Unreality. And with that, that means that should this theory be correct, it could have been confirmed that an entirely new character was introduced to us right under our noses. And if that's the case, that could be something that's explored as we go through and learn more about the universe of Unreality, and learn more about Yozora, the Nameless Star, and the mysterious new Sora. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's another Sora in the universe of Unreality? Let me know down below in the comments, or you can let me know in the official Guardians of Twilight Discord server. Link to that will be down below in the description. If you enjoyed the content, go ahead and leave a like and send the video or any of my other videos to a friend and join in the speculation. And finally, if you haven't already and you want to become an official Guardian of Twilight, make sure you hit that red little subscribe button and turn notifications on. That's gonna be all from me, and I'll see y'all next time. This is Moose Wayne, signing off.